that is Zack Snyder's Justice League. This is the film that a lot of people had were pushing for so many years. Now, if you look back in 2017, when the original Justice League movie came out, and you check out almostsideways.com and you look at Justice League on that, I gave that film 3 stars. Now, looking back on it now, it's definitely not a good movie. The original Joss Whedon cut, or the Zack Snyder Joss Whedon hybrid, if you will. I gave that movie, I was really positive on it. I didn't think it was the best. I thought it was kind of an okay film, but it was some dumb fun. I found myself enjoying it a lot more than a lot of people. Even with the fake mustache debacle with Henry Cavill, because he was shooting Mission Impossible Fallout. They said he cannot shave it off, but they wanted to do these reshoots because of the Zack Snyder incident. If you're unfamiliar with the Zack Snyder incident, unfortunately, his daughter, it's kind of hard to talk about. His daughter did commit suicide, so he was going through a lot of family and personal turmoil, right? And this was in the public eye. A lot of people saw it. We saw a lot of cool, amazing footage from like Comic-Cons. Everybody was super hyped about it. I was hyped about it. And then you hear about this incident. He leaves, and then Warner Brothers basically lets him go, and they bring in Joss Whedon. Now, Joss Whedon, they think of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They have the Avengers, the first 2 Avengers movies. So he knows how to put these big action, films together. But the crazy thing is, the original Zack Snyder vision was like a 3-hour movie for this Justice League movie in 2017. But once Zack Snyder was out of the way, Warner Brothers said, no, 2 hours. So the original cut of the film was at about 1 hour 59 minutes. So just under the 2-hour mark, with Joss Whedon's humor plastered throughout all of it, with really lame jokes about dating, a lot of kind of hurt the image of Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman for me, considering that the best DCU film up to that point was Wonder Woman, in my opinion. I still enjoy that movie. I still think it's one of the better ones in this universe. And I think it really kind of hurt her character, a lot of it, especially Flash. And I also was really critical on the Flash in that movie. I don't think a lot of people really minded him. They actually really liked Ezra Miller, and I didn't. For the simple fact is he's playing Barry Allen, but he's acting like Wally West. I know that's a really nerdy thing to say, but it makes sense to me. And I like Ezra Miller in Perks of Being a Wallflower, but he has some personal off-screen issues as well that I'm not really a big fan of. But not a big fan of Ezra Miller. I thought Ray Fisher was fine with Cyborg, and we're not going to talk about Ray Fisher's stuff. I thought Jason Momoa was fine, and I kind of was, I gave it a pass. And part of that could be because maybe The Last Jedi and these big blockbuster films were kind of disappointing, and I just wanted some dumb fun. And Justice League gave me that. But watching Zack Snyder's cut and seeing all the fans really champion for this movie and this cut, and even the actors got behind it, and a lot of people wanted it, and Warner Brothers dropped it today, or last couple of days, on HBO Max. And here's my thoughts on Zack Snyder's Justice League. Thank you for listening to that intro. This is a 4-hour movie, guys, but it's broken up in like a couple of different parts, so it's like it's kind of more binge-worthy if you want to take breaks in it, and it's definitely chapter selected on HBO Max. So there's that, so you don't have to watch it. First night, I was able to watch 2 hours. Again, I didn't get off. I got off later from work, and my wife and I wanted to watch, but get tired, So we watched it one day, and then we finished it up the next day. And I had to say, I actually had a lot of fun with this movie. It's not perfect by any means, but it's definitely, you can see the scope and the vision and some of the effects and the new scenes all kind of were in there really amazingly. And I actually really do appreciate what Zack Snyder's real vision was. He made this superhero epic film, that the film that he wanted. He wanted to make it for fans. He didn't necessarily was going for the critics, but I got to give it up for the man. After all the turmoil he's been through everything that Warner Brothers has done, not with his film, but with also the DCU, with the Ben Affleck stuff, not like giving him the Batman movie, but going with Matt Reeves, the Planet of the Apes films, and making Robert Pattinson the new Batman, and basically pushing Ben Affleck's script and his ideas to the wayside, and Ben Affleck kind of having his issues from that. And then Ray Fisher and Josh Whedon's like clashes. I definitely don't want to get into that because I don't know anything or hardly anything by choice, but I know it exists there. And I'm not a fan of Josh Whedon, as I'm not as big a fan anymore. I can appreciate the art, but not the artist. And seeing everybody wanting this version because it's the rightful version. I got to give it up to Zack Snyder. Love him as a director or hate him as a director. I think he's done some pretty cool films. I really love Watchmen. I love the Dawn of the Dead movie. Some of his films are overly saturated and stylistic, and they're definitely not for everyone. And you're definitely going to get that with Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's definitely stylized. It's definitely dark and brutal, but a lot of fun and worth watching. And it kind of fixes some of my issues with it. Definitely the Wonder Woman character is actually a lot better in this version than compared to the 2017 movie. I'm not quite on board with Ezra Miller quite yet. Still have issues with Flash personally. But maybe I just don't think Flash kind of works. At least maybe this actor's version of the Flash works for me. And that's okay. A lot of people do like him, and that's totally understandable. Batman is cool in this one. I like seeing Darkseid and Steppenwolf, and Steppenwolf has a lot cooler look. There's some really brutal violence in here and some really cool moments. I liked how they got some of the campy humor in here, and it makes the film, to me, in my opinion, work a lot better than the 2017 version. For this one, I'm trying not to jump up so high on it. I'm still going to give this movie a 3-star rating. Okay, this one is still a 3-star for me, maybe 3.5, depending on how much I want to rewatch it. However, I will knock my 2017 Justice League rating down to a 1-star film. And the reason for that is because everything that has what happened, and kind of seeing the two versions in two versions and seeing the differences in this new one so drastically tell the story differently. It's crazy. We're like 2 hours in, and the other film was 2 hours. We were 2 hours in the first night, and we're not even halfway. Like, the part that we were at the 2-hour mark was roughly like halfway through the 2-hour film. Like, it's rushed so fast in that other film. Granted, I don't want to see every superhero outing be 4 hours. I don't think that's necessarily a good idea. But seeing a vision come together that the fans really want, I think it's awesome, and the fans are really championing it. I'm seeing a lot of positive, but I'm also seeing people, be excited for it, but also critical. And I think it's going to be interesting to see moving forward how much fan bases dictate outcomes of actual projects, because I think a lot of movies, if the fan bases speak loud, they could actually get different cuts to the films. Like Solo could be one. Solo, which is a Star Wars story with Alden Ehrenreich and Donald Glover. And obviously we know that Phil Lord and Christopher Miller filmed that. Guys who brought us 21 Jump Street and the Lego movies. And, they filmed part of that, and they brought in, they got fired by Disney because they did when the vision was different. And Ron Howard, this one of the safest choices, other than J.J. Abrams, in my opinion, to take over that film. And, it was fine. I actually gave that one a positive rating because I did not like Last Jedi. And that's going to be a conversation. We'll talk about Last Jedi at a different time on this channel. So, but anyway, it's been very interesting to see, different takes. I think also Alien could give us one of these takes, different cuts. Maybe I would love to see a David Fincher cut of Alien 3, like a legit David Fincher cut of that movie, his actual vision and what he wants to tell. With maybe a de-aged Sigourney Weaver, that would be pretty cool. Charles Dance is still kicking. Let's bring him back in that movie too. So a lot of cool things. Obviously, one of my favorite director's cut is the final cut of Blade Runner. I think that there's so many cuts of that movie. It's gonna be interesting to see what's going forward, how things progress. But yeah.